Today we will be reading Helen Keller, The Story of My Life, Chapter 16. Before October 1893, I had studied various subjects by myself in more or less desultory manner. I read the histories of Greece, Rome, and the United States. I had a French grammar and raised print, and as I already knew some French, I often amused myself by composing in my head short exercises, using the new words as I came across them, and ignoring rules and other technicalities much as possible. I even tried without aid to master the French pronunciation, as I found all the letters and sounds described in the book. Of course, this was tasking slender powers for great ends, but it gave me something to do on a rainy day, and I acquired a sufficient knowledge of French to read with pleasure. La Fontaine's Fables, La Médecine Malgré Lui, and passages from Athalia. I also gave considerable time to the improvement of my speech. I read aloud to Miss Sullivan and recited passages from my favorite poets, which I had committed to memory. She corrected my pronunciation and helped me to phrase and inflect. It was not, however, until October 1893, after I had recovered from the fatigue and excitement of my visit to the World's Fair, that I began to have lessons on special subjects at fixed hours. Miss Sullivan and I were at the time in Holton, Pennsylvania, visiting the family of Mr. William Wade. Mr. Irons, a neighbor of theirs, was a good Latin scholar. It was arranged that I should study under him. I remember him as a man of a rare, sweet nature and of wide experience. He taught me Latin grammar principally, but he also helped me in arithmetic, which I found as troublesome as it was uninteresting. Mr. Irons also read with me Tennyson's In Memoriam. I had read many books before, but never from a critical point of view. I learned for the first time to know an author, to recognize his style as I recognized the clasp of a friend's hand. At first I was rather unwilling to study Latin grammar. It seems absurd to waste time analyzing every word I came across, noun, genitive, singular, feminine, when its meaning was quite plain. I thought I might just as well describe my pet in order to know it. Vertebrate, division, quadruped, class, mammalia, genus, felinus, species, cat, individual, tabby. But as I got deeper into the subject, I became more interested, and the beauty of the language delighted me. I often amused myself by reading Latin passages, picking up words I understood and trying to make sense. I have never ceased to enjoy this pastime. There is nothing more beautiful, I think, than the evanescent, fleeting images and sentiments presented by a language one is just becoming familiar with. Ideas that flit across the mental sky, shaped and tinted by capricious fancy. Miss Sullivan sat beside me at my lessons, spelling into my hand whatever Mr. Irons said, and looking up new words for me. I was just beginning to read Caesar's Gallic War when I went to my home in Alabama. That was Helen Keller, Chapter 16 of The Story of My Life. I know these aren't done in high definition or anything like that, but if you enjoy my reading, then that's the main thing. I get paid lots of money to do the same exact thing for kids. The best would be if you read along. I'm reading Helen Keller, obviously. It's a very popular book. If you want to improve your own reading, or you just want to become a better reader, and you just enjoy reading, go ahead and get the book and follow along.